A major storyline twist has just taken shape for CM Punk, and it could lead to one of the most personal and controversial matches of his career. We're also going to unpack the latest developments with John Cena, Solo Sikoa, and the rapidly shifting dynamics within WWE's top factions. There's a lot going on, so let's start with John Cena, whose farewell tour just took a compelling turn that's finally drawing fans back in. Over the last few months, Cena's farewell run has received a lot of mixed feedback. In fact, a recent community poll showed nearly 70% of fans calling the tour a flop. Some felt it lacked energy, others thought it didn't live up to the hype, but that all changed on the June 13th edition of SmackDown, where Cena delivered arguably his strongest promo since the farewell tour began, and maybe even one of the best of the year. On that night, John Cena came out to position himself as the mastermind behind every major move he's made since announcing his final run. He told fans that his decision to announce his retirement 6 months in advance wasn't just for sentiment, it was strategic. According to Cena, the early announcement gave him time to assess the locker room, analyze his future opponents, and construct a roadmap for how he would navigate the tour. He revealed that entering the Royal Rumble was always part of the plan, and if he didn't win the Rumble, which he didn't, then forcing his way into the Elimination Chamber would be his backup strategy. Cena said he counted on Seth Rollins and CM Punk being so preoccupied with each other that they wouldn't see him coming, which would give him the edge he needed. Then came the moment fans had been waiting 4 months for. John Cena finally addressed his infamous face-off with The Rock at Elimination Chamber. Ever since that tense stare-down, fans had been speculating about what it meant, why it happened, and what it hinted at for the future. Cena didn't offer a full explanation, but he gave us just enough to stir the pot. He said he recognized Cody Rhodes would be distracted by The Rock. That was his moment to strike, to shock Cody, steal the spotlight, and tip the scales in his favor. Cena brushed past the Rock portion of the moment and kept the focus on how he used the chaos to surprise Cody. And then he kept going. Cena claimed his match against Randy Orton at Backlash was another calculated move. He chose Randy's hometown for the bout, knowing full well the emotional weight it would carry. He framed it as giving Orton a false sense of security, only to blindside him and walk out with the win. Cena even tied in his interactions with R-Truth, Ron Killings, saying those weren't spontaneous either. According to Cena, he orchestrated Truth's rise to the main event to manipulate expectations. Everyone bought into it, and that's how he kept control of the narrative. But the most intriguing part of the promo wasn't about the past, it was about the future and CM Punk. John Cena now has his sights set on Punk, and he's crafting a plan specifically designed to expose Punk as a fraud. Cena's strategy is built around an old tweet. Years ago, CM Punk had a heated exchange with The Miz where he criticized Miz and WWE for performing at Saudi Arabia events, implying that he would never take that kind of money or appear at one of those shows himself. Well, John Cena didn't forget that tweet. In fact, he's using it to set the stage for their next big match. Cena said he's willing to give Punk a title shot, but only if it happens in Saudi Arabia. If CM Punk accepts, he walks right into Cena's trap, because by stepping into that Saudi event, Punk would instantly contradict his own words from years ago. Cena would expose him to the world as a hypocrite, someone who slammed others for cashing in, only to do the same when the opportunity suited him. This, Cena says, is the latest layer in his psychological warfare. Against Cody, he used surprise. Against Orton, nostalgia and false comfort. And now with Punk, it's moral exposure, a public reckoning that Cena is patiently waiting to unleash. That's the real reason why this highly anticipated Punk vs. Cena match isn't happening at Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. It's because the Saudi Arabia setting is part of the story, a trap specifically designed to force Punk into a corner. All of this paints Cena not just as a competitor, but as a master tactician, someone who spent every step of his farewell tour thinking 10 moves ahead. The promo gave us the best look yet at what this version of John Cena is about: intelligence, manipulation, and layered mind games. But right when Cena seemed to have everything under control, he was blindsided by Ron Killings. Yes, R-Truth attacked Cena as he was exiting the ring, marking the first physical retaliation since their chaotic encounter at Saturday night's main event. It didn't take long for that confrontation to become official. Shortly after the attack, Ron Killings approached SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis and demanded a match against Cena. That match is now scheduled for the June 20th episode of SmackDown, just days before Cena's showdown with Punk. So Cena's confidence might be high, but now he's got to get past a fired-up R-Truth before even making it to Punk. It adds another layer of risk, and potentially gives Punk something to use against Cena if things don't go according to plan. Love or hate the farewell tour, one thing's certain: John Cena has been putting in the work. He's showing up, competing on free TV, and appearing at every premium live event in 2025. That's more than Roman Reigns and many other top stars. So while some fans may not love every detail, his dedication can't be questioned. Hopefully this new thread of calculated strategies continues, because it's a unique and refreshing take on Cena's final run, and it gives every feud a personal, psychological edge we haven't seen before. Now switching gears to the other major ongoing story, Solo Sikoa and the new era of the Bloodline. Ever since Solo took over the Bloodline in 2024, he's been rebranding the faction in his own image. That started with bringing in Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and the powerhouse Jacob Fatu. It was Solo's way of breaking free from Roman Reigns' shadow and asserting his dominance with his own family. But things haven't gone smoothly. Injuries have sidelined the Tongan brothers, and now Jacob Fatu has walked away from Solo's control entirely. That leaves Solo Sikoa with only one active ally, JC. And if there's one thing we've learned about Solo's character, it's that he thrives on intimidation and strength in numbers. A one-man army won't cut it. So now the question is, who will Solo bring in to fill the void left by Jacob Fatu? All signs are pointing to Hikuleo. Hikuleo is the younger brother of the Tongan duo, and he's been signed to WWE for quite a while, but up until now, he's been kept off TV. That changed recently when he wrestled during the June 13th taping of WWE Main Event. It might have seemed random at first, but many fans now believe that match was just a warm-up, a soft launch before his true arrival on SmackDown. The connection is already there. He's family to Tama and Loa, and that makes him an ideal fit for Solo's Bloodline too. It's possible Solo reached out to the injured Tongan brothers and asked for help. Maybe they suggested Hikuleo as their replacement, a towering enforcer ready to join the fight. WWE may already be planting the seeds. They've announced that Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu will appear in a segment on the June 20th edition of SmackDown. The premise of that segment is Solo offering Jacob one last chance to fall in line and rejoin the family. Assuming Jacob refuses, and let's be honest, he likely will, Solo could retaliate immediately, and that retaliation might come in the form of Hikuleo making his main roster debut. Taking out Jacob Fatu would send a strong message and re-establish Solo's dominance. It would also signal the next chapter for the Bloodline under Solo's control. Once the Tongan brothers recover, the new version of the faction could be more dangerous than ever, bigger, badder, and fully under Solo's leadership. So while Roman Reigns' future remains unclear, Solo Sikoa is wasting no time writing his own story, and he's doing it with ruthless precision. From Cena's masterclass in psychological warfare, to Solo rebuilding his kingdom with a new enforcer, SmackDown continues to deliver on long-term storytelling and personal rivalries that feel impactful. But what do you think? Are you buying into this version of John Cena? Can he continue to stay one step ahead? Will CM Punk fall into his Saudi Arabia trap? And is Hikuleo the right man to replace Jacob Fatu? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.